I'm the prosecutor in this case, and I believe that Werner Heisenberg was a pseudoscientist because he did not have any experimental evidence to back up his claim. He also did not. He also used the work of others as his own work without their knowledge or without their approval. Werner Heisenberg was born in Germany in 1901 and lived there for most of his life, when he up until he passed away in 1976. Germany between this time went through two world wars, and both of which affected Werner Heisenberg negatively. After the First World War, he was a college student at the University of Munich. However, despite the World War, he was a working man. So during this time, he was a student of Arnold Sommerfeld, an accomplished researcher in atomic spectroscopy, and he studied at the University of Munich, where he received a doctorate in hydrodynamics. In 1919, Werner Heisenberg said, "It is probably not right of me, but I simply prefer to be among my friends." This establishes his psychological background as not loving and being against family. He preferred to be among his friends and not among his kin. And these people these so-called friends that he had, he wasn't really as affectionate towards them. He just said that as an excuse, but in reality, he was somewhat of a loner and thought what he believed as a fact and as being rational, despite its actual rationality. After he received his doctorate from the University of Munich until 1933, Werner Heisenberg collaborated with many of the most renowned scientists in physics and chemistry. Among them were Max Born, Niels Bohr, and Pascal Jordan. Heisenberg, Born, and Jordan collaborated to write a paper called "On Quantum Mechanics 2." This paper was a relative success and established his name as one of the leading scientists in physics and quantum physics. During the 1920s, which was the time period when they collaborated on this paper, quantum mechanics was a very popular topic. Ernest Schrödinger and another scientist named Dirac developed the wave equation and the bracket notation, respectively. And after these developments, so around 1925 to 1933, Werner Heisenberg returned to the Bohr Institute, and after his research there, he wrote his renowned paper "Über den Anschließenden Inhalt der quantentheoretischen Kinematik und Mechanik, or on the perceptual content of quantum theoretical kinematics and mechanics." This paper was a breakthrough and a huge success, and it led to his principle of uncertainty. Heisenberg lived during the time of both Niels Bohr and Ernest Schrödinger, and thus did his research while listening to both of these scientists' arguments on the atomic model. Bohr's model had orbits for the electrons, while Schrödinger's experiment had clouds for the electrons. Schrödinger's model was influenced by Werner Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. In 1933, Werner Heisenberg started supporting the National Socialist German Workers' Party, also known as the Nazi Party, during their primary reign in Germany. He believed in Aryan supremacy and worked with numerous Aryan scientists because of the non-Aryan policies. As a result of these legislations, many premier scientists had to forfeit their current positions, such as Born, Einstein, Schrödinger, and even many of Heisenberg's students. Despite these political issues, he never once contemplated leaving Germany, and nor did he do anything to acknowledge what was going on. Because of this, it is reasonable to infer that Werner Heisenberg did use many of these scientists' work because Because they were kicked out of Germany and they left most of their lab equipment, most of their work behind. Werner Heisenberg did not credit the majority of his lab partners because of their non-Aryan status, and that is why Werner Heisenberg is a pseudoscientist.